Welcome to Ctrl+Alt+Narrate, your go-to source for captivating stories and engaging conversations in the world of digital media. I'm your host, Sneesha, who's currently very sick, so please excuse the raspy voice. And join me as we learn about the journeys of our incredible guests from the MDM program. So, Cynthia, let's Ctrl+Alt+Narrate your story. Would you like to start by introducing yourself and your educational background?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia, and I worked 4 years as an electrical engineer and have an engineering degree before coming to the Master of Digital Media. And I chose this program because I want to explore building and designing in the digital world. And I want to build something more human than just the cold hard buildings. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that lovely answer. Let's go on to our first segment, Loading Who Are You? What made you want to apply to the digital media program?
So as I just mentioned earlier, engineering is a field that is very technical, and traditional infrastructural design is very, how do you say it? Sorry.
No,
Let
it's okay.
Let me formulate my thought. So you have to go by the book for everything you design. There are standards and guidelines set in stone. You're just making sure that everything you design or you calculate comply with those standards. There is very little, if no room for creativity. And me as a person, I really want to bring things into the world, create something that is helpful for people, instead of just following the standard to make sure that everything is safe. So I want to use my innovation to help people. And that's why I applied to this program and want to work on something digital as well, because it's a medium that is easier for people who are more creative to use their strength and talents.
What are some projects that you're currently working on? It can be school related or personal.
So for school projects, I think I've been focusing on VR or 60OF design for interactive experiences. My MRP is on motion capture in a 60OF environment for immersive experience.
So if you were to explain that to someone who doesn't know those concepts,
Sure.
What would you say?
It's basically building a virtual environment where you can either wear VR glasses or go into a room and feel immersed in there, and your motions will be detected. You can interact with the objects in the environment.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, and you guys are building like a haptic glove?
Yes, so we are building a haptic glove. That means that you also will get feedback from the environment. So whatever you touch or certain objects you touch, you will be able to feel its shape. It will so the haptic gloves, they have motors on them.
Okay.
And those will provide feedback for a sense of touch. So they will push back on your fingers.
Oh, so you're not physically holding an object.
No, you're not.
Like
so
virtually.
Virtual objects that you see with your VR lenses.
Oh, okay.
If you're to grab it, the motion capture from the haptic glove will detect your motion, and it is programmed to grab the object in the space, but you also feel feedback from that object.
That's so cool.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
I'm not the tech person. I'm mainly there to build design and build the environment. Rose is the main tech person, and she is really, really talented.
Yeah. I think you guys all have important roles. To build something like that sounds like it would take forever. That's such a cool concept. Where did you guys start coming up with it?
It's I think we built our group around Rose, our tech.
Okay.
Yeah, our tech guru for motion capture. She loves soldering these motion capturing devices and building them for herself. She uses hardware and software from Slime VR, which is compatible with Unity, and that's her idea to build an environment with that is interactable with haptics. And we just thought, then let's build it VR because if you're already immersed and interacting, why not make it even more immersive from all the other dimensions? So 60OF means 6 degrees of freedom.
Oh,
like
wow.
You can move around, you can touch, you can hear. So that's technically like what we want to achieve as much as possible. But depending on how fast we can work, we'll see where the project ends up.
Yeah. What stage are you at right now?
So most of the tech are in place.
Okay.
Now we're just trying to modify the environment. And we have a short story script as well.
Okay.
But we're reiterating it as we try to make it compatible with what the technology is capable of. So that is the stage we're at. So hopefully we're trying really hard by this week to have like a person in the environment walking around to be able to test it further. She also got additional sets of motion capturing equipment for us to test things out ourselves, so we can build the characters and start like animating certain scenes.
I know you're big into cosplay, so please tell me about how that whole process looks like for you, and also for anyone that isn't familiar with what cosplay is.
So cosplay is when you dress up as a character from a fictional world that is either comics or manga, anime, games, anything like that. And usually you just really love a certain character and you're like, oh, I wish I could beat them, or I wish I could look like them. So whatever inspires you, you really want to try making yourself either look like them or have an experience of being that character. That's how usually people start. And then once you have an inspiration, you will look into different ways to make yourself into the character, to dress yourself into the character. So that usually takes wig, the costume. You have to learn how to do makeup to make yourself, to forge your face into the character.
Right.
And usually contact lenses, props for some of the characters, and usually you would want to photo shoot it with a photographer. So you might have an aesthetic in mind and contact the photographer that fits your aesthetic to see if you could collaborate with them. Then you choose a location that you think will be able to recreate the world that you're envisioning. And when all these are set in place, you dress up, you style your wig, and you kind of have a storyboard or mood board for the kind of photos you want to get, and just go and shoot. And the beginning, it will be very difficult to pose and everything.
Yeah.
You will probably look awkward or not in character. And then you just keep taking pictures and looking at the photos and see where you can adjust. And as you practice, you become better and better of conveying what you want when you do those photo shoots. Yes.
Seems like a very long process. What kind of cosplay have you done so far?
It's mainly anime and game characters. And I usually like to do some kind of group or dual photo shoots with friends because I enjoy that interactivity. And I enjoy creating or recreating the chemistry between characters and trying to tell a story. So usually that is easier with like a group than an individual character. And usually we have a story in mind.
I know that you've traveled a lot. Do you have any cool experiences that you want to share, or any nice places?
Oh, yes, definitely. I haven't traveled a lot, but the few times I've traveled, I try to select places that I really want to visit. One place is Hokkaido.
Okay, where's that?
It's in Japan.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So I just happened to have the opportunity to visit Hokkaido before coming from China to Canada one of the years, and it happened to be winter. So I thought it was meant to be. And so I planned my 2-3 days trip around Hokkaido. I did very little planning, actually. I just went and explored the city. And it was just beautiful with ocean on one side and mountain on the other side with snow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right beside the ocean. So if you take the train, you can watch sunset with sunset over the ocean with snow on the other side. So it's very therapeutic. And another place I really love was Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So my friend and I, we were going to Europe to watch a esports tournament. So then,
which one?
League of Legends.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
That's the only one we watched. But the tournament was in Paris, and we thought it's a waste if we don't try to go around Europe since everything's so close together. So we planned to go to Amsterdam first. And the infrastructural design in Amsterdam, the architecture is just amazing. Yeah. It's built around rings of canals. So everywhere you walk, all the streets, there will usually be a canal dividing two sides of the street.
Interesting.
Yes, and Netherlands is the hometown of Van Gogh, which is my favorite artist. Yes, and the Van Gogh exam is also in Amsterdam, and it is actually relatively very cheap.
Really?
Yes, the flight was only around 600 Canadian total round trip. So for whoever that loves design, architecture, or art, I really highly recommend Amsterdam for like a short trip even. And the hotel is not expensive. They have those capsule hotels as well. It's very friendly for solo travelers as well. And
it's on my bucket list now.
Yes, and they have those really beautiful windmills if you just drive like 20 minutes away from the city. Very photogenic, so very scenic. And I think it's different from Hokkaido. It's more populated, so there it's more experiencing the culture and connecting with the locals than whereas Hokkaido is more peaceful and therapeutic.
Right.
So yeah, these are the two places I would recommend to anyone. I also shot some cosplay in Amsterdam.
Okay, I would love to see that later.
Yes, I can put some up.
Are you also a big photographer? Because you talked about the scenery a lot.
Personally, actually, photography is my weakness.
Interesting.
I
really?
love looking at the scenery, but I'm really bad at framing. But I'm very good at editing.
Editing.
If the photographer takes a photo, I can make it look much better.
Yeah, we did the entire editing for all the headshots that were on the website. There were so many of them. There were so many. But yeah I know that you did a great job editing them.
Thank you. I really love fine-tuning colors and also trying to polish the photos to give it a certain, what do you call it? Atmosphere? The atmosphere you want to create for the photo.
Yeah.
Whether it be painting-like or futuristic or just vibrant, happy or sad. So I think that's what I excel at more than photography. Yeah.
I think it's something that you probably excel at. Maybe you need to, get more confident in it. But I think you're probably more good at photography than you think you are. Because if you can find out what to edit, I think that means you already have an eye for scenery.
Oh, thank you.
So you're welcome. And we'll also be able to prove her wrong with all of the photos that we put up. So on to our next segment, Deep Dive No Edits. So who are you when you're not fulfilling roles in your family, in your community, and work?
Who am I? I guess a sloth. I would.
That's a fair answer.
I would be in bed or in the couch all day. And I wouldn't even be doing anything. I would be just in my head. And my head would go through different scenarios, or it could be empty. But usually if I'm not fulfilling things, my mind would be very, very active, thinking what I'm doing wrong, what I could do in the future so I could bring value to people around me, how I should take action, and it will kind of calculate all the different parallel possibilities. And but like in real life, I'm not doing anything. Which is not good.
So we're safe to say, I think we're both overthinkers and we stay in our heads a lot.
Yeah.
But about the value thing, I think you yourself bring enough value to everyone's life. I don't think you need to do anything extra to give other people value.
Hopefully. But I think I'm the type of person who hates being useless. So that's kind of my greatest fear. And one of the reasons I chose engineering was I want to be useful. And that's one of the most useful things I think one could pursue, right, to build the society.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I always knew I was a creative person, but I thought creativity is not that useful. But nowadays, I've been trying to adjust that way of thinking.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I think there's value in all types of talents or all types of things that people are good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a place where everything belongs. And I think that, we're yet to find our places, but there are places that we excel at and that our potential will be shining. So, yeah. Speaking about being a creative person, where do you find your inspiration from?
The everyday life, I think. For example, I really love design because to me, good design has always been very impactful for me. For example, this space is very well designed.
Yeah.
It creates a very peaceful atmosphere for people to want to be productive. Every time I enter these type of spaces, I feel inspired to work.
Right.
I feel inspired to design like them. And I want to provide value to people just as like the designers who designed this space did. So yeah, the people hard at work, the people pursuing their passion and their passion impacting others, I think that's where I find my inspiration from.
That's a beautiful answer. I think you're very, very talented. And I hope that you give yourself enough recognition for that. Because even the smallest details that you add can sometimes make the biggest differences. But moving on to the next question, what is a really big hurdle that you've faced? And what is something that you've learned from it that you feel is important to share?
I think one of the biggest hurdles in my life that's been recurring is I don't know myself, my own limits very well. I am very curious, very inquisitive, and I love exploring everything. But I'm not good at everything. I could, like my learning curve could go up really fast and then it'll hit a hurdle. Sorry, not hurdle. So like in high school where you don't learn everything as in depth, you feel like, oh, I'm pretty well-rounded. But at the same time, if I'm like that, I don't know what I really am good at or like what I do better than other people or what I do worse than other people. So in engineering, I feel like I hit a hurdle where I'm just not as good at physics and math as some of the other people.
Me too.
I can understand everything, but like for me to apply it every day or use it every day, it takes a lot of brain power. It drains my energy.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but when I'm creating something, I realize that I am more
yourself.
I give energy to myself through creation.
Yeah.
I gain energy through creation. So slowly over life, after being burnt out and everything, I realized that I'm I learned more about myself and know what my strengths are and understand what my weaknesses are more. So I think that is one of the hurdles in life I've faced. And most of my stress before has come from this. I keep on trying to pursue things that I'm not that good at. Yeah. And hopefully I'm on the right path, which I think I am because, oh, yes. And one thing I want to share with everyone is I think trust your own instinct. Because in the past, I've always tried to make decisions based on what objectively makes the most sense or what objectively is the best decision, like engineering, right? Stable and makes money. But instinctively, I've always wanted to pursue something that is more human, that is more design or creativity related. And I was always afraid to do it. So it hit a point where I will share this, I lost my job instead of quitting. I think somewhere in my mind, my instinct is driving me one way, but my logic is pushing me the other way. And subconsciously, my instinct won, so it made me lose my job. So I had no choice but give the creative side a try. So I applied to the program, and I got in. And once I started school, I think all those overthinking just stopped. So
that's awesome. Yes, that's really good to hear.
And I know I might not start off making a lot of money or have a stable job, but internally, I make sense to myself now.
Yes. And that's the most important thing.
And that makes my mind at peace. And so an advice to everyone, trust your instinct. It knows you better than your brain does sometimes.
That's a very powerful statement.
Yes.
I'm a strong believer that if you're a creative individual, I think everyone has creativity to a certain limit, but if you are really, really creative and you don't give yourself an outlet to let that creativity out, it can really dim your spark as a person. And I think that sounds like what you went through. And I also went through something similar until I gave myself an outlet to do a bunch of different things, try a bunch of projects and try a bunch of new hobbies and interests, and then finding what speaks to you, basically. But I think instinct-wise, you're very much on the dot. I think that's a very, very good piece of advice to give everyone.
Thank you.
What would you say is something you don't give yourself enough credit for?
I don't know.
I'm going to preface this by saying lots of things. But if you were to answer that question.
If I were to answer that question, I think how much I genuinely care for other people, I guess.
Oh.
Yes, I do, but my ability is limited. I want to take care of everyone I'm close to, but it's difficult. But I will work to get there. So along the way, I might have to neglect taking care of them in the everyday. But at the end, hopefully I will get to where I am, become stronger and like financially and as a person, so I can support all the people around me.
I went through my own learning of that, and I forgot who told me this piece of advice. It's a very common thing that people say, but when you're crashing on a plane, the first rule is to put the oxygen mask on yourself. And then you only go and help other people, and then you put the mask on for everyone else. So I think that's the most important lesson that I've learned, is to take care of yourself and make sure that you're in a situation and in a state where you can help other people and take care of other people. Because if your glass is half full, I'm speaking in so many metaphors today, but if your glass is half full, then you're not going to be able to help someone else, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's something we are both learning together.
Yes.
But I think we've come a long way from the beginning of the program.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did.
But I'm glad that you're able to answer that honestly, because you do care a lot about other people, and that is definitely something that you deserve credit for.
You too.
Thank you. On to our last segment. Unfortunately, we're wrapping up soon. Alt, before you go, if your younger self could see you now, what would they be most proud of?
I guess they would be most proud of that I have found myself.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Now I operate around myself more than I operate around other people. Yeah,
that's a huge accomplishment. I think it takes people different amount of times to get to that stage. I'm still getting there, but it's inspiring to see that you have gotten there, that there is a way and there is a place where you can feel fully yourself and just operate for yourself. So that is very encouraging to hear.
Thank you.
What is one thing that you wish people hyped up more or were more excited for?
Oh, that's a tough question. Let me think for a little.
Yeah, take your time.
The everyday life. The little things in everyday life, I think.
Okay, expand on that.
Like when the sun gently shines on your face, that warm fuzzy feeling. Not fuzzy.
No, I get what you mean though.
It's a warm feeling.
Yeah.
Like sniffing fresh blankets from the dryer.
That's my favorite.
Hugging your dog and sniffing the enjoying desserts. Taking a nice drive and blasting music.
Yep.
And maybe singing along on the drive. And you've done a day of work and you feel that little sense of accomplishment. I feel
Actually, let's make a game out of it. So we'll take turns listing 5 things that we should be grateful for that feel really good. Okay. I'll start. I want to say some really crazy things, but I'll keep it normal. Waking up when your pillow is really, really cold and it's like refreshing. Or going to sleep with your pillow really cold, but like your covers and you're like inside and you're very comfy in your bed.
Interesting.
Is that not a universal thing, I guess?
I'm not sure. I never try to pay attention to the temperature, but I guess when the blankets are cold, it is nice.
When the blankets are warm, but the pillow is cold. Because it's like a refreshing thing. If you've ever tried to sleep on a really, really warm pillow.
Oh, that's true. That's not
good. It's not nice. But if it's like cold pillow and it's like really warm blankets, that's one thing that I personally really like.
I'll try to pay attention to that. For me, taking a nice long shower and then dry yourself and just sit there and zone out. Because you smell good, you feel refreshed, and you just sit there and zone out. And
I will say, for me, this could be very specific, but I love putting eye cream during my morning and night routine because I use my eyes so much during the day. I stress them out. I witness a lot. And it's like I'm taking a moment to just take care of my eyes at the end of the day, making sure they're hydrated, making sure, they're also tended to. Sorry, that was my stomach. I'm really hungry. But I think that's something that I genuinely enjoy. Your turn. That's 2 each, I think.
Creating something, for example, a cosplay photo set, editing it all and posting it, and then just sit there and read it or look at it over and over and admire your own work.
Yeah, I think you should. That's such an intensive and lengthy process. It deserves some recognition, a lot of recognition. This is a simple thing that probably lots of people can relate to, but making coffee in the morning, when I turn on the machine, like I have an espresso machine, when I turn on the machine, I'm just like, okay, take these few minutes to just enjoy life. It's the best thing ever is gonna come right now, and I can make myself a nice cup of coffee, and then I set that to go, and then I just take in the smell of coffee, and then I turn on the milk frother to make myself a latte, and it's a very nice process because my room smells like coffee, and when I'm getting ready first thing in the morning, it's a nice way to start my day. So that's the third one. What about you?
On a very, very clear day, looking up into the sky at night, listening to music, taking a stroll, and singing along with the music.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Usually starry night, but sometimes it's the moon. Yeah.
I will say when it's really, really quiet, maybe everyone is asleep and your favorite song comes on and then you just feel like dancing to it by yourself. It's just one of those moments of like intrinsic happiness. And I think that very few things can compare to that because you're by yourself, no one's judging you, and then you can just do whatever you want. And it's really nice.
When you're traveling into a foreign land, you're just wandering around, you hit a random cafe or restaurant and you ask the owner for their most recommended item.
And I should start doing that.
They serve it to you proudly. And you what do you call it? Indulge it. And you tell them it tastes great, and you both are very, very happy and grateful for the encounter.
It's like the small things in life. This is really like the small things in life that we should be grateful for. I think another thing is when you're in the washroom or when you're walking by people and there's just like a simple smile that goes on and then you pass each other, just like a greeting. You smile and then you walk by. I think it's like one of the purest forms of humanity, and it's very reassuring because it's like a friendly gesture and then you're just like, oh, that person smiled at me. Like, you know, I'm going to continue on my day. And then it's like things are feel a little bit lighter.
On an idle afternoon, you come across a stray cat and they come to you after you wave to them and you have this bonding petting session.
I would be a little afraid to do that, but you and my sister would get along really well. My sister has a cat. I'll show you afterwards. His name is Smokey. He's like a black cat with green eyes. He looks like Toothless, the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, she's obsessed with cats. There was this white female cat that came to visit, and she just went and picked it up without even knowing if it was like a stray cat or someone's cat. But yeah, I'm always afraid that it might bite me. But maybe that's because it can sense that I'm not a cat person, that it knows I'm a dog person deep down, you know.
I think so. I'm both. I own a dog, but I love cats too.
What's your dog's name?
Yuzu.
Oh,
it's a
what breed?
Shiba Inu.
Okay, insert photo. I love dogs.
I'm
a huge dog fan. Oh, I should have asked you for photos. Okay, I'm really excited to see how that'll look. And last question. I think very, very hard because it's such a serious question. I'm kidding. If there is something that you think everyone in the world should know or learn, what should it be?
I think that people are very different. So I can't make a statement, but I guess that is the one thing people should learn, that people are very different. There is such a thing called neurodivergence.
Yes.
Everyone perceives everything very differently. And if you really want to care for someone, you really have to understand what their actual perspective is and understand what they really need to get taken care of. And I think that's something that we have to constantly learn as humans if we want to collaboratively live happily on this planet, I guess.
Yeah. You are such a sincere and kind person. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was a pleasure to have you on. And you're so down to earth. I love that all your answers came from the heart. So thank you for coming out of your comfort zone and coming in and answering all these questions, even though you were very nervous. You did an awesome job. And to our listeners, thank you so much for your time and support. And we will see you on the next episode.